Some disasters may require that you bug out and move to a safer location.
Do you know when it would be better for you to go, or if it would be better for you to stay in your own home? Hi, I'm Jonathan.
And Kylene Jones, and we are the Provident Preppers. The decision to bug out can be a tough one, even for the most experienced of preppers.
In this video, we will talk about the advantages and disadvantages of bugging out and bugging in. And we'll provide some general guidelines so that you and your family can think about what you will do in a crisis situation.
Stay with us.
In an emergency situation, should you bug out or bug in? This video is based on the post, Bug Out or Bug In, How to Know When to Go or Stay.
Let's start by defining what it means to bug out. Bug out is actually a military term that is commonly used by preppers to refer to a time when you may need to leave your home quickly due to some dangerous situation. Bugging out does not always mean to go and live in the wilderness. A predetermined, well-stocked destination is crucial. However, that location can be an isolated cabin as well as Aunt Beverly's house in the country. And then there's bugging in or sheltering in place. Bugging in is a term used to refer to a time when you choose to face impending dangers from your well-stocked, secured home. The benefits of facing danger from your prepper home far outweigh the benefits of bugging out, unless that situation demands it. There's no right or wrong answer, and you will need to make that decision based on your individual circumstances and family obligations.
Some of these threats might include flooding, or a wildfire, a hurricane, a HAZMAT spill, or civil unrest.
Every prepper is rightly concerned about the dangers that exist when people are desperate and lawless. The threat of civil unrest tends to be higher in larger cities and densely populated areas.
If you decide that you should bug out, the timing is absolutely critical.
For instance, if you have received a hurricane warning and have been counseled to evacuate, you need to do that as soon as possible. For one, the weather will get progressively worse. And the next reason is because you want to beat those thousands of people who are going to be jamming the freeways trying to get out of the city as well. Another situation is civil unrest. If you wait too long to make that decision, it may be better for you to stay at home than to try and get through all of the dangerous situations you're going to encounter as you leave the city. That's why it's important that you take time and plan well so that you know when a situation arises what the best decision is going to be, and you can make that decision quickly.
Bugging out to nowhere is a terrible option. You have to know where you're going and how you're going to get there.
And that location should be stocked and ready to accommodate you and your family for however long you need to stay there. Bugging out can quickly remove you from imminent danger to a place that is theoretically safer and that has better resources. You can bug out away from urban environments and the risks associated with the densely populated areas. It's important to note that bugging out has significantly more dangers than benefits. You need to carefully weigh out your options before making the decision to leave the safety of your home. Bugging out in a vehicle is preferable to bugging out on foot. However, you must be prepared to end up on foot. Some of the dangers of bugging out include these.
Weather conditions. Some of the weather conditions you may end up in may be very difficult to handle. It's unlikely that it's going to be a beautiful spring day wherever you go.
If you bug out in the middle of winter and you get stranded in your vehicle someplace, it might have been safer to stay at home and face the challenges there than to face the challenges stranded in a vehicle out in a blinding snowstorm. Hard decisions. And then there's the fantasy versus reality. Quite frankly, it can be really exciting to watch a survival show from the warmth of your own home and on your own comfortable couch. But are you really ready to sleep on the cold ground in freezing temperatures? Are you prepared to deal with all the dangerous things that go bump in the night? Bugs, rodents, animals, crazy people? Bugging out on foot requires advanced survival skills. Are your skills and level of fitness really advanced enough to make it?
Your environment may be unfamiliar to you and may be lurking with a variety of dangers. Where are you going to sleep? Are those people safe to be around? It creates situations with a lot of stress in them. Where's your next meal going to come from? Are you going to be able to get clean, fresh water? All these things are questions that you have to consider as you look and struggle for safety and security.
When you make the choice to bug out, you need to be very aware of the physical and mental limitations of those who would be going with you. Can they actually make the trip? Do you need to modify the trip or the destination so that you can accommodate their needs when you arrive? And this is a hardcore prepper's worst nightmare. They've prepared this fantastic bug out location with everything that they need. And then when they get there, somebody else has already taken it. It's not like you can call local law enforcement and have them evicted. Or maybe you had planned to go to grandma's house, and when you get to grandma's house, she's gone and somebody else is there. What are you going to do? Do you have a backup plan?
Now let's consider some of the benefits of bugging in.
We would choose to ride out the threat from the safety of our own home whenever possible because we have prepared our home to be the ultimate bug out location. One of the benefits of bugging in is that you have your home, which can protect you from the elements, that harsh sun, the wind, the rain, the snow. And even if the power fails, it's going to be better than any tent you could have. We have added security measures and fortified our home to help keep us safe from those who may want to cause us harm or steal our needed supplies.
In our home, we have the food and fuel and supplies and tools that we need to take care of our family. These are things we would have very limited access to out on the road.
Water storage. As buff as my handsome husband is, there is no way that he can strap a 450-pound barrel to his back and take it with us. But being at home, we have the ability to store a lot of water.
Sanitation is another feature of being in our own home that we really appreciate. In the event that the sewer system was down or other sanitation crises were occurring, we have the ability to take care of all these things at our home.
One of the best things about being home is it gives you the home advantage. Life at our home is structured and organized, which provides great comfort as challenging events unfold. I have my own bed so I can get a good night's rest, which makes everybody else so much happier. Operational security and situational advantage is much easier from the familiar steps of your home. You know which neighbors pose a threat, and you can keep an eye on them. It is much easier to detect threats or know when something is amiss when you are familiar with the area. The home advantage is significant. Another thing about being home is that we can produce our own food. We have mature fruit trees and vines and berry bushes, and we have the tools and ability to preserve the harvest so that we can be self-reliant for an extended period of time.
Another benefit of bugging in is the ability to keep the community relationships that you've already established and allow those to be of benefit during a time of crisis.
So in our neighborhood, we have medical personnel, firefighters, law enforcement officers, construction workers. We have such a variety of skills, and we have already learned how to work together. As a community, our chance of survival is much greater than if we are on our own. Now, there are a few disadvantages of bugging in because every neighborhood has somebody or a couple somebodies that are dangerous that we need to watch out for.
This includes those who are unprepared and are just simply not ready for whatever may come.
And the toughest piece is that these are truly our friends and people that we love. They know that we're preppers, and the word gets out that the Joneses have resources. That can be a great disadvantage to bugging in. When you have consciously prepared your home to shelter in place, it's an advantage. When you have not, it could be a disadvantage. If your pantry is empty, if your home is in disrepair or it is not in any kind of condition to shelter you, it does not give you the home advantage. We're going to share a few ideas that may help you to successfully bug out if that ends up being necessary.
We already talked a little bit about destination, but it is critically important that you know what your destination is. And we recommend at least 4 different destinations that you may need. One is just outside of your home, somewhere close, but outside of your home in the event of, say, a house fire. One of those is outside of your neighborhood in the event that there's a localized crisis or disaster occurring.
Something like a HAZMAT spill, where there's only this section of houses that have to be evacuated. You just need someplace to go.
Another one of those Bug out locations would be in a neighboring city. Perhaps you live in an area where there's a wildfire. You would want to be somewhere close, but in a neighboring city so that you're away from the harm, but still able to return if you are able to do that. And the last destination that we will mention is one that is maybe 100 miles or more away. In case of a larger event, you have someplace to go where you're out of harm's way.
Our bug out location is actually, 600 miles away?
Yeah.
The trip is a little bit long and dangerous. However, it is far enough removed that we would be safe from anything that might be going on here in our local area.
In addition to identifying these bug out locations, you also need to plan the route to get there and alternate routes in case that route is unavailable.
It is important to physically take a map and mark the routes to your intended destination. Clearly label the alternative routes, A, B, C, yellow, red, blue, anything so that when you're talking to your family members, they can clearly understand which route you are taking. I would place a copy of that map in each of your survival kits and in each vehicle so that you won't be caught without it. We have a friend whose job it is to teach survival classes at a university. And one of the things that she shared with us was that it's very important to become invisible. You want to blend in with the crowd to the very most extent that you can. This is not a good time to wear camo and draw any type of attention to yourself. The goal is to just blend in with the crowd.
It is vital that you create an evacuation kit for each member of your family that is tailored to their needs and their ability to carry that.
It should contain enough supplies for the duration of your journey, which may be very difficult depending on where you are going and whether you're able to make it there in the vehicle or whether you get stranded and have to make the remainder of the journey on foot.
Make sure that your vehicles are maintained and ready to take you where you need to go.
Always keep your gas tank at least halfway full of fuel. That will enable you to have enough fuel in your vehicle to at least get you out of harm's way. If possible, finish filling your gas tank with fuel that you have stored in your garage and perhaps take some fuel with you. It all depends on your situation and whether or not you can do that safely. It's important that you secure your home, whether you stay or whether you leave. Your home might not be there when you get back or if you get back, but you want to do the best that you can to secure your home so that it will be safe whether you're in it or whether you're gone.
It may also be a good idea to turn off your electricity and your water and possibly even your natural gas.
However, if you turn off your natural gas, you're going to have to wait for the gas company to come out and turn it back on for you. Many pets are like family members, and it's important that you decide what you're going to do with your pets. Can you take them with you? Would it be better for them to stay? Do you have what they need to stay without you being there? This can be a very difficult decision, but it's one that should be made in advance.
The key to all of this is having a plan and preparing now. You do not want to be making these decisions when you should be clearly in action at that point.
The choice to leave and chance a dangerous journey to a bug-out location or to stay home and ride out the challenges is a difficult decision. But it's important that you are prepared whether you go or stay. This is a picture of our entry closet. On the back of this door, we have well thought out lists that remind us the things that we need to take with us, what we need to do to secure our home, and it also includes a copy of our family plan so that we know exactly where we're supposed to go, what the address is, what the phone numbers are, everything that we need so that if something happens, we have the ability to leave within just a few minutes.
Here are some additional resources you may want to look at. Prepper risk assessment, what threats should you be prepared to survive? Also, how to organize critical documents for emergency evacuation. How to create the perfect emergency survival kit. These and other great resources are available to you in the show notes and on our website, theprovidentprepper.org.
If I could have the wish of my heart, I would face all of life's challenges from the comfort and security of my own little home.
But obviously there are times when we do need to bug out to a predetermined location to protect our families.
And now for the question of the day. What's your plan if you need to bug out to survive?
And do you have any tips that you can share with our viewers about either bugging in or bugging out? Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.